Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to an all-new episode of the Totally Radical Cartoon Podcast. Once again, we are here talking about another 80s cartoon, and as we do every week, we take a look at a different episode of a different 80s cartoon series. My name is Randy. I am your host today, and I, of course, am joined by my co-host, Phil. Phil, how you doing, buddy?
Hello, how's everyone doing? I'm doing fantastic. How about you?
Oh man, I am definitely excited for our episode today. But before we get to the episode, we got a little bit of housekeeping to do. Of course, Totally Radical Cartoon Podcast is a production of Geek World Order. Find us on geekworldorder.com, facebook.com/geekworldorder, and Twitter and Instagram at Geek World Order. And as we continue to grow our podcast here, you can now find us on a lot of the major podcasting platforms. We are available on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and Tuned In. So go to all of those podcasting apps, subscribe, listen to the show there, and of course, give us a rating and a review, that beautiful 5-star rating and that text review, because that's how podcasters get noticed on the podcasting platforms. That's how new people find us, from people recommending the shows and really spreading the word out. So
Yeah.
definitely get on that grassroots movement and please help us. But
Yes, please. We'll definitely love you for it. Go ahead, subscribe, give us that 5-star rating. Man, this is just the beginning. We're going to do big things for sure.
Oh man, that was definitely fun. But oh man, we've got another episode to talk about. And today we're taking another trip into the 80s because Totally Radical Podcast is a sort of mediocrely trained fighting force. Our purpose: to defend the internet from boredom, a terrorist organization devoted to destroying the internet. Oh man, we are heading to GIJoe today, my friend.
Yes, a crowd favorite. When I tell you, dude, like rewatching G.I. Joe, I forgot how epic it really was.
Dude, the theme song is
Holy
like
crap.
one of the best.
Yes, like it. G.I. Joe was just straight action through and through.
Man, and you
Like straight action, covert ops, all of that.
Dude, and you couldn't sing the theme song by yourself and do it right. Because
Yes.
I know there's a term for it. Oh, and I should have looked it up. But there's that off-kilter like thing where it goes, G.I. Joe, a real American hero.
Yeah, you pretty much have to do a duet to like really get it right. You have to have at least one other person. G.I. Joe, American. Like you have to really like. That was like when you and your friends were all in the same room, like just yelling off the G.I. Joe theme song, and everyone had their cue.
Dude, man, and it just started like from literally you get that dun 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 dun, Yo Joe.
Oh, dude, and everyone screamed that out at the end. That was the best part.
Oh,
like
dude.
I'm sorry, like me as a kid, I screamed that at the top of my lungs. Like with all my little buddies, like we like as soon as G.I. Joe came on, we were like on 100. it was about to be amazing.
My parents were actually more okay with me yelling Yo Joe a lot because they got really sick of the transformation noise very quickly.
Oh, they roll out. Like, all right, enough. What are you really rolling in there, son? Oh, nothing.
Oh man, but yes, we are taking a look at an episode of G.I. Joe, and we are heading to the second season of the series today. We are looking at a Shipwreck heavy episode. We are taking a look at the episode Once Upon a Joe.
And I don't mean to be biased or anything, but at one point I was in the Navy, so Shipwreck, it's kind of not really a coincidence that he was one of my favorites when I was a kid, but lo and behold, I ended up joining the Navy.
Yeah, my dad was in the Navy too,
man.
so And
oh
Shipwreck
yeah, that's right. You told me that.
yeah, and Shipwreck has always been my favorite Joe. You
He's
know,
got he's got the most personality of most of them, to be honest.
he really does.
And
And
this episode really shows that.
dude, and oh, it does, man. There is some crazy stuff. So, and we finally get to
Ooh, I
talk
can't wait.
about. I mostly decided to pick this episode because in our conversations outside of the show, Phil and I have just somehow we keep bringing up a certain device that's mentioned that is a catalyst of this episode, the
Oh,
McGuffin
no.
device.
Oh, the McGuffin. Oh my god. Dude,
And
this episode was it was it was just immediately from 0 to 100 real quick.
dude, just the meta of the jokes alone, the McGuffin device. And for those who don't know, a MacGuffin is basically just a plot device. It's just sort of whatever. Its purpose is basically whatever fills the plot and
Yeah.
moves the story along. And
And they
well,
literally used the word MacGuffin device.
right. And this is where our episode actually opens, is at McGuffin Laboratories. So we see a
Yes.
bunch of trucks just roll on up and just slam through the walls, just like it's nothing.
Oh, dude.
They are just straight up attacking the scientists here. And I was a little confused for a second because out of the trucks came Stratovipers, and those are pilots, like air pilots for Cobra.
Yeah. By the way, where is Cobra getting their funding? Like, they were ready. Like, they literally shot a giant net over a space shuttle.
Yeah.
Where are they getting their funding? Where are they getting all these? Like, jeez.
It's called money laundering.
Pretty much.
Because the twins,
God,
Zamov and
they were-
Tomax,
oh.
they have their business, Extensive Enterprises.
Oh, we've snagged quite the bird.
That's where
I
Cobra... that's where Cobra
forgot-
launders all their money, is through them.
I forgot that the twins could feel what the other one felt.
Yeah, that's weird.
That is such a flaw, man.
Right?
And then the Joes had no mercy. Oh, really? Then pass this on. Boop.
Yep. So yeah, the Stratovipers come out.
Him in the face, and the other twin's like, oh.
But yeah, no, the Stratovipers come out. They attack the scientists at McGuffin Laboratories. Oh man, I'm going to say that word a lot during this episode, aren't I? McGuffin.
Yes, we are, and I'm gonna laugh every time.
And somehow
Because-
one of the scientists pulls the old bank thing, and there's like a button underneath the desk that he just clicks.
There's always a panic button.
Yep. And that panic button is directly linked to the GIJoe headquarters.
Dude, and not for nothing, but how prepared were they? Good God.
Who
They were coming up under freaking Patrick Star rocks and everything. Just they had the full arsenal ready. How dare they? Whatever he said. How dare they protect my plans?
But yeah, the GIJoe team is called into action. And we see Shipwreck and Dial Tone in the break room playing pool. And Ship's like, nah, we're good, we can wait, we can finish this.
And
Beach
not
is
for
just
nothing. That's some Navy shit right there. I'm sorry, but we are the most don't give a shit kind of people. Until it really hits the fan, we're like, okay, yeah, we gotta go.
yeah. Oh, dude, and we'll learn later in this episode that Shipwreck is a lot smarter than you think he is.
He is, dude.
Dude.
He
like,
really is. Like
when you
his,
look
his
at-
progression in this one episode, I agree.
Dude, and honestly, Shipwreck knows some stuff, man. Because if you look at when you research deeper into the character and read his file card, he's an E7.
Oh yeah, and E7 is a chief.
Yeah, He wears an E6
So
uniform, but he is an E7.
He wears an E6. Exactly. He wears an E6 uniform. He's wearing oh God, what do we call those? The blue uniforms. Yeah, the dungarees. He's wearing dungarees, but he's an E7.
But I mean, it makes sense because for the work he does, wearing a Chiefs uniform isn't exactly practical.
No,
because he's not exactly having an office job.
And not for nothing, like GI Joe, it's pretty much a private organization, right?
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to be traditional per se.
Right. That's kind of how everyone kind of just excuses the weird costumes and uniforms, because it is basically a hand-selected uniform. Yeah, and they're
because not for nothing, Shipwreck shouldn't even have a beard unless he has a waiver. Trust me, I tried to get that waiver back in the day. Not happening.
I mean, it's the 80s, man.
Straight razor bum face.
Right?
So I did not get that waiver.
And even then, he's still got some of the more regulation here, man. I mean, half the GI Joe force got big old porn stashes. Oh,
especially oh God, I keep forgetting his name. The sassy one, Roadblock.
Probably the one that rhymes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Roadblock.
Roadblock. When they were in the water, dude, I'm like, no, he didn't.
Dude, man. Like, literally, even at the end of the message, Beach has like, all Joes assemble for combat. That means you, Shipwreck. Because, Beachhead's a dick.
Yeah.
He really is. But no, we go back to the laboratory, and Cobra, those Vipers, they're shooting at it. They shoot it with a laser, and they try to break it. They got to shoot the thing with a rocket launcher to get that glass to shatter.
I'm telling you, they went 0 to 100 real freaking quick. Like, it was a full-on war. Dude, almost immediately into the episode. Like, they were coming from under, like, pretend rocks with freaking Gatling blasters and all this other stuff. It was like a Gatling gun, but it was lasers.
And speaking of going to 0 to 100 in this episode,
popped out.
We get a shot of just this random orphanage. And this little girl is, she's sad because she's an orphan. And she just wants to be read a bedtime story. Poor little Jenny. She just wants a bedtime story. But nope, she can't have a bedtime story because, she's an orphan. And the kids see G.I. Joe just, phew, right by their window. Probably the most exciting thing that has ever happened in their lives.
And then she's like, holy fuck!
And so by this time, Cobra has...
If that was allowed back then, pardon my French. Us as kids, like, shit! Oh, no one heard me. Shit!
Yeah, so at this point, the Vipers, they've gotten the McGuffin device, and they pull back the covers of the trucks to reveal fire bats. Which would make sense as to why we have Strato Vipers, because, we need pilots for the getaway vehicles. So we get this great line as G.I. Joe is running into battle. Shipwreck straight up says to Beachhead, so what is the McGuffin device? And Beachhead's like, it's top secret.
That's exactly how he said. He's like, what is the McGuffin device?
Top secret. Oh, that means you don't know either.
The no bullshit comment. Oh, you don't know what it is either. Shit.
So yeah, at this point, G.I. Joe and Cobra engage in battle. Cobra releases some battle android troopers. Some
epic battle at that. Like, I forgot how intense like the G.I. Joe battles were.
Right?
Like, they went all in, dude.
Dude, especially with the music in them, man. Like, the music for the series.
Action.
It's so good. The music is just so good in this series.
Yeah, that too. It really is. This all plays in together real well. Like, it just kept you on the edge of your seat because there was just so much action, and the music that matched up with it. It just they knew what they were doing. Let's just say that.
Oh, absolutely, man.
There was a reason that was one of the top cartoons for over a decade. Like,
oh yeah. So during this whole thing, Shipwreck of all people managed to shoot the fire bat that has the McGuffin device.
Yep.
So that one kind of so the McGuffin device goes off, and well, the fire bat crash lands right into the orphanage. So there's a reason for this whole orphanage being there. Great shooting, Shipwreck. You just shot down an orphanage.
Yep.
Ah, yes. Wonderful line delivered by Wetsuit, who, may I add, just has the finest Jufro.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. Man, that thing is fluffy.
Bro, and they are giving like Shipwreck
Super Mario floater cloud. But go ahead.
Dude, they are giving Shipwreck some major crap for this too. It's like, bruh, he just shot down the Cobra. Maybe y'all shouldn't have been fighting by an orphanage. I don't know.
Yeah. So you don't blame me for that shit.
All right. And so after this, we get there was one fire bat that did make it out. And it's the two idiots. There's a tall one and a short, fat one. And they are greeted by Cobra Commander, who's, you're back. Where's my McGuffin device? He lost it. They're straight up pointing at each other. Bruh. Cobra Commander is pissed.
Cobra Commander cracks me up every time.
Dude, he is so over the top, it's amazing.
Obey my orders! Destro! Could you not yell at me all the time, please?
Dude, he straight up cracks the two of them. He cracks their heads together.
Yeah.
Like, I think these two might have, like, serious injuries after this.
he's straight no bullshit. Like, he's... Like, not for nothing, he sounds like a bitch, but he's ruthless.
I mean, there's a very good reason for him sounding like a bitch. Because, he is voiced by Chris Latta, who also voices Starscream. So he's really good at doing...
voice!
Yeah, so he's really good at doing a bitch voice.
Mm-hmm. And they work.
Mm-hmm.
They're very iconic. They work.
Oh, yes. And so at this point, we see the next day. So yeah, the kids have been kind of, apparently had nowhere to go. Probably slept outside all night. So G.I. Joe decides to just show up with some building supplies to, fix the orphanage.
Look at that. G.I. Joe coming through again.
Yes, yes, kids, this is what you call collateral damage.
Yep. Sorry we fucked up your orphanage. We'll be here for a while.
So, here's where we get into... Oh, actually, no, sorry. We've got another scene before we get into just some brilliance here. So, Cobra Commander decides to change up his plans. And he calls his mercenary thug Zartan.
The Kiss reject?
Yeah. And Cobra's trying to get Zartan and his Dreadnoks to do a job. But the Dreadnoks are a little busy at the moment. They're having a very weighty philosophical debate. Breath mint versus candy mint.
Oh.
They are just beating the crap out of each other. But the best part of this is just when Xandar, who is Zartan's brother, just straight up comes up and just beats a mofo with an alligator. He beats a mofo with an alligator.
Like, which twin is more evil at this point? or just doesn't care anymore?
Oh, dude, I forgot this scene was even in this episode.
I wonder, like, how did the one twin really get that scar? Like, who got fed up the fastest? I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, so Zartan decides he's just gonna take a little solo mission. no point in sharing the profits, or, why bother the boys? Why tear apart their argument? Let them have their debate. But yeah, so we go back to the orphanage, and we get a nice little montage. People are working on the building. Oh, Shipwreck. You evil, genius bastard. Dude straight up is like knocking shit over, knocking people off their work. He somehow beautifully manages to hit Beachhead, Leatherneck, and Wetsuit simultaneously with a 2x4.
I think Shipwreck had a little something in his drink. It's what I think happened.
This man is just
Navy
pure...
men are known for they drank. I'm sorry, but
ingenuity. But Shipwreck doesn't exactly want to do some work right now, so he purposely gets himself kicked off the work detail.
It's like, oh no, it's so tragic. Bye.
But yeah, he needs himself a nap at this point.
He needs some milk.
But nap time ain't gonna last long for Shipwreck. Because, oh look, it's Jenny. Our poor little orphan Jenny who just wants a story.
Oh.
So she straight up calls Shipwreck out on his bullcrap too. She's like, yeah, whatever. You're just taking a nap.
Yeah, she really did though. He's like, well, shit.
Yeah, Jenny has seen some things apparently.
Point.
Her life is just in shambles. She's
because
like,
they pretty much
like
destroyed
5?
What she had left.
Yeah.
And now he's taking a freaking nap. This is like really Shipwreck.
Man, so she pulls the orphan card and she's like, all right, I'll tell you a story. Okay, bro. And here's where the episode just goes, once again, 0 to 100 and just shifts into a whole nother gear. As Shipwreck just starts telling this story of a poor cobbler who lives in a shoe. The Duke.
Oh, to Adam Sandler. I'm sorry. Oh, God.
Yes, the overbearing father figure is definitely a parody of Duke.
Yes.
Which, I mean, I was never a fan of Duke. I really thought he was just so Boy Scout. I really thought he was just boring as a character.
He's a Captain America of G.I. Joe.
No, he's not supposed to be that nice, bro. He's like, he's E9, dude. He's straight up Sergeant Major.
Yes.
Nothing about that is supposed to be nice.
Not ever, to be honest. It's like,
and so,
I can do what I want, and F the rest of you. And
the Duke has 3 sons. He has a very ugly son named Leatherhead, an even uglier, dumber son named Frogface.
Frogface!
And for some reason, he has another son who's very handsome, very intelligent, and a sailor named Shipshape.
Well, freaking Frogface, dude.
Which,
oh my God.
Isn't that like what military people use as like a derogatory term for SEALs?
Yeah.
Because Wetsuit is a SEAL on the GI Joe team.
Yeah, exactly.
And I believe that, or something very similar to that, is basically military jab at SEALs.
That's exactly what it is. It's more of a if I remember right, it's more of a Marine jab at SEALs.
Right,
because Marines pretty much call us squids. And that's as close as you're going to get.
Which, basically, Leatherneck and Wetsuit, that's their whole dynamic in the show. They're the odd couple. They're a Marine and a SEAL. And they are literally the odd couple.
Exactly. That is the dynamic. You're right.
So, and in very true fairy tale story fashion, well, they run out of food. They have no food, so the Duke's got to send his sons out to get some food. And so he sends the first son, Leatherhead, out with some cash, and he's stopped by the big bad Cobra, who steals the money.
Of course.
The second son
takes
money.
Cobra! Bye.
Yeah. He takes the family cow out to trade it for money or food. Or it's like, wait, they have a cow. Why don't they just eat the cow?
Yeah, they have a whole cow.
Right? But yes,
pasteurize some milk, some cheese.
But yes,
maybe slice off a little beef. I don't know.
Right? And it had udders. It was a dairy cow.
Yeah.
But it also had a sign on it that said cow. It literally had a sign taped to it that said cow.
Hi, I'm cow.
But yeah, so Frogface gets beat up by some kind of evil fairy princess that basically looks like Zorana.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that.
And yeah. So the third son, Shipshape, he's sent on a special mission from the Duke to infiltrate a giant's hamburger mine.
Well, look at there.
And so all throughout this story, there's another kid that's just interrupting Shipwreck. Just trying to make logic of any sense. It's like, Bobby, you're a dick. It really was being a dick during story time.
Yeah.
So yes, in the story here, Shipshape is captured by the giant and put into a cage. But he's quickly saved by 3 magic fairy princesses. Who are literally just Scarlet Lady Chain and Cover Girl.
Oh my god, I'm snorting.
Oh no, this story just keeps getting better and just more balls to the wall, man. And what somehow just ensues after Shipshape is released from the cage, because for some reason the giant sounds like Elmer Fudd. He's like, and even has like the weird vocal tick, like that weird talking pattern.
That weird like this, almost.
And yes, and Shipshape becomes Popeye all of a sudden. Because he runs into a cupboard and there's a can of spinach. So what does he do? He eats the spinach so he can beat up the giant. And at this point, story time gets interrupted because, you know, for some reason the other Joes are just dicks in this episode to Shipwreck. They're like, you.
I mean,
stop entertaining these orphans.
Most of the military shits on the Navy. I'm sorry, they do.
Dude,
and I was in the Navy, and they do that. But at the same time, we transport you fuckers, so leave us alone.
So they hand Shipwreck a metal detector, and they send him out to go look for missile carcasses.
Oh, man.
But of course, we have to move the plot along, and guess what Shipwreck finds?
That's why I'm laughing.
All right, say it with me, kids. The McGuffin device. Because obviously we have to move the plot along.
Look what I just found.
But of course,
by the way, it's fucking funny.
Oh, and of course, Shipwreck's discovery of the device is very short-lived because Sartan appears and knocks him the fuck out.
Yep.
And of course, as our hero is knocked out here, of course, we head off to a commercial break. And we're going to take a quick break here ourselves, folks, and we'll be back after these short messages.
Be back soon.
GIJoe will return after these messages. You're looking at Cobra's new supersonic jet, the Raven.
Cobra Raven, Cobra Raven. There's no haven from the Cobra Raven. 2 jet engines, a drop-down cockpit, a hidden bomb port. Now you know it's got twin rear guns and a one-man drone, and it's on the lookout for G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe.
Live the adventure of G.I. Joe. Cobra Raven comes with what you see here. Other figures sold separately.
Joe, Joe!
Now back to G.I. Joe.
And we are back, folks, and as we left for the commercial break, Shipwreck had just been knocked out by Zartan. And of course and at this point, the lovely parrot Polly finds Shipwreck, and, well, obviously he knows something's not up here.
By the way, why is this parrot so sentient?
Right?
It's like he's not repeating things. He is his own mind and knows what the fuck is up.
Right.
Why is this parrot sentient?
Because it's an 80s cartoon. We have to have a wisecracking animal sidekick somewhere, right?
Shipwreck has literal conversations with his parrot.
The parrot's a dick to him, too.
Exactly. He basically tells him, you better shut the fuck up right now. Which, leads me to believe, people have, conspiracy theories about this parrot. And it's not really a parrot. It's just, his figment of his imagination.
I mean...
And he's, talking to it, and it's, it has its own independent thought.
I mean, this is an 80s cartoon, man. I mean,
Exactly.
pretty sure there was a lot of drugs involved in writing these shows.
I'm totally sure of that.
But yeah, so...
Polly want a cracker? Polly's sitting on a cracker. Fuck you, man.
Yeah. But yes, Zartan is heading for his swamp fire, a great vehicle, and standing by the swamp fire are Beachhead and Leatherneck. And they're just
Why does swamp fire sound like an STD? I'm sorry, I had to throw that in there. But please continue.
I mean, the Dreadnought's base of operations is a swamp.
This is true.
Whew. So yeah, they're basically just why is there a swamp fire here? Did somebody leave it here last night? Guys, did you see any Dreadnoughts last night? No.
Did you? No.
So
no.
Zartan is a little oh crap. So he goes back to where he hid Shipwreck tied up and steals his clothes. Because he's just going to disguise himself. Because that is Zartan's thing. He is a master of disguise.
This is true.
So
that's why he's able to sneak into the G.I. Joe base so much.
But yeah, so
he's done that a couple times.
So Shipwreck is found by Jenny. So it's back to story time. Man, the story just gets really off deck from here. Because Zartan basically just turns into propaganda. You know, the mighty win, all that stuff. But yeah, no. Jenny ain't having none of it. She realizes this is not Shipwreck. And she tries to go to tell Beachhead and Leatherneck and all the others.
Nobody's listening.
Yeah.
She knows what's up.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
His stories are fucked, and this guy's actually making sense.
Right. So, of all the people she can find, she finds Polly.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah, they
Polly.
find...
Oh, shit, Sherlock.
So they find Shipwreck, they untie him, and he goes back to where the base is. And he just pops up, sees Zartan's like, I think you got my hat, pal. Well, okay, he's got a little more than your hat, Shipwreck. I mean, dude is
Shipwreck
literally
is
just
an
standing
ass.
there.
I'm sorry, but Shipwreck is exactly me when I was in the Navy. I'm sorry. I was
He's
such an
just
ass.
straight up standing there in his boxers.
This is wisecrack. He's like, I think you got my hat.
So at this point, of course, we get a battle because out of nowhere, Cobra.
Cobra, la 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 la.
No. We're not even close to that yet.
I know.
Not
It's
even
I
close
love-
to. So eventually, Shipwreck boards the Night Raven that Zartan is getting in. Somehow managed to get both the McGuffin device and his clothing back. And then it happens, Phil. Guess what Shipwreck does now? He turns it on.
Yes, he turns on the McGuffin.
The McGuffin device.
Go McGuffin.
Go gadget plot hole.
Go Gadget McGuffin. Ooh. Oh God! Wait till we get to Inspector Gadget. Jesus.
Ooh, buddy.
Whoo.
And from here, literally everyone, Cobra, G.I. Joe, they are all just collectively saying, "What the fuck right now?" Because the device just... Because once again, when a device goes off in an 80s cartoon, someone's just got to get shocked.
It's catastrophic.
And Shipwreck is
At
just
the least,
glowing with
it's-
green energy.
Exactly.
And the characters from the story just start coming out of the McGuffin device. So they are just attacking Cobra, doing weird things.
For nothing, that's pretty much what it could be for. But it's indefinite. It's a McGuffin.
Dr. Mindbender gets a pie thrown in his face. Like,
he might have chewed on some shrooms. I don't know. I don't know what happened back then.
Like, this is a guy who literally just dresses in black pants and a cape. And a monocle.
Oh,
And
man.
he just had a literal cartoon character just pie him in the
I'm
face.
McGuffin.
And this is apparently one of the weirdest things he's ever seen in his life.
I've never seen anything like it. The only way I can cope is to chew on these shrooms.
So yes, Cobra is freaked the F out, so they run away and the day is saved.
Retreat!
And at this point, we go to probably a few hours later. Shipwreck finishes his stories, and Lifeline gives us this wonderful, nice, heartwarming moment saying, you know, isn't it just nice to see people doing nice things? And yeah, at some point, Beachhead is a dick to him.
I was just about to say that.
Because
Like,
that's
oh
a very...
my God. Just let him have a moment, please.
That's a very common theme of the second season. Beachhead is a dick.
Yeah, he is.
But yeah, after Beachhead is a dick, we
But when you
fade
have-
to black and the episode is over.
Oh, man.
Bro, this episode was just... It was so
Like, I
random.
tell you, Yeah, exactly. Most G.I. Joe episodes go 0 to 100 and stay at 100.
It really does,
And
man.
And that's why they're so entertaining, because they just go for broke, and it keeps you just like at the edge of your seat.
It really does, man. This episode in particular is just, okay, cool, we're going to start somewhat seriously, and then we just go,
No.
how many drugs can we take while writing a single episode of this show?
Exploded, seriously. Oh, and then the whole orphanage thing is just like, wow.
You're like, why is there an orphanage? Oh, it's going to get blown up, isn't it?
Yep. Okay. Well, they're not dead, so.
But they're orphans, and apparently they are not having a lot of fun.
Yeah, they're sad enough. Don't kill them. Come on.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Dude, it's just insane. When you go back and look at these episodes as an adult, you're just like...
Exactly.
Dude, what?
It's insane to, like, comprehend things now before you did back then. Back then, it was just exciting. It was like, oh, yeah, they saved the day again. Oh, fantastic. And you go back now, it's like, oh, fuck.
Right? Dude, man, just... I definitely had fun watching this episode. This was just balls to the wall insane.
And that's what most of the episodes are like. It's just like they go full on action, and it just keeps you at the edge of your seat the whole time. And that's what I love the most about G.I. Joe. Like, G.I. Joe was one of my top favorites of all times.
Dude, it's just
like
insane.
I have a box full of G.I. Joes in my garage still.
Nice.
And that's one of my favorites of all times. It's G.I. Joe, He-Man, Thundercats, Transformers, the list goes on.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to do all that, but good God, man. Ninja Turtles too. Even with all their horribly named like villains like Pizza Face and Rat King and all that stuff, it was great. Would you like some ratatouille? Like all that crap. Like it's fantastic.
Oh yeah,
it just brings back so much.
I mean, G.I. Joe, man, I think had one of the better assortment of villains.
It did. It really did.
There weren't a lot that had...
Destro was more ruthless than freaking Cobra Commander.
Right? And
like he just did not care, and he would just laugh about it.
Dude, you couldn't do that on most of that stuff on series today.
No, you can't.
The 80s were just like the golden era. I miss the 80s so much.
Yeah, like the 80s was like the 80s was iconic. And that's why we're doing this right now, because people need to know this generation ain't shit. People need to know, and they need to be reminded.
Oh, dude, I think the 80s was the golden era.
80s cartoons needs to be in the history books, like in actual history, with like Columbus and all that shit.
And that's the thing, though, like all the stuff that gets rebooted, it's all 80s stuff. It's the 80s franchises that are getting these
exactly
remakes.
Thank you. And the remix from the greats. Mm-hmm. So you can't remake shit and make it better without the prototype. You can't do that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no. But yeah, this has been an incredible ride so far, and I think that's gonna do it for this episode, man. I had fun this week.
Oh, me too, dude. It's only gonna get better, to be honest. Like this is so much fun, and I just cannot wait to keep going. Like this is great.
Oh, dude, absolutely, man. Once again, go to GeekWorldOrder.com. Keep up with the episodes and all the other great geeky goodness of the website there. Of course, go to Facebook.com/GeekWorldOrder, Twitter, Instagram @GeekWorldOrder, and of course, as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, once again, go to your favorite podcast feed aggregator. Give us a like, give us the thumbs up, give us the 5 stars, give us the text review. Please help us grow the show and just get the word out.
It's gonna keep getting better. Keep coming, keep listening, and dude, trust me, if you're enjoying this now, it's only gonna get better. Trust me. This is epic.
And of course, stay tuned for next week when we bring you another look at a great 80s cartoon. And this has been another episode of the Totally Radical Cartoon Podcast. We'll catch you next week.